and I am Garrett Young. The title of our performance is Flash of Justice, Hine exposes Hine. As the 1800s drew to an end, corporations in America were booming. Huge strides had been made in field technology, and the economy was proof of it. With increased steam-powered boats, railways, and ships, and the use of large-scale machine tools, businessmen in America were becoming wealthy and powerful. From the outside looking in, America was perfect. It was the land of opportunity. It seemed as if jobs were everywhere, and they were. Jobs for white men, the colored, the women, and the children. Businessmen in America realized the potential our children held to propel their businesses to be even bigger. However, these bigger businesses saw no age as too young.
If your family was well-to-do and you had the choice to work, your life was pretty grand. You could live the American dream. For others, though, reality was far from a dream. It was a cruel nightmare for children. This nightmare stole their youth, their health, and ruined their lives.
Can we take a small break? My hands are hurting and I can barely breathe in this thick smoke.
No, boy, we cannot. We have to separate these coals and keep working. I've never heard such a crybaby as you.
I just can't understand why I ain't ever wear gloves.
Boy, I learned a long time ago that there's no place to be asking questions. We're working separate to provide for our families. While there is a boy working here in these mines, he looks like an 80-year-old man from having to crouch over here in these chutes. And I don't hear him complaining, so you need to put a sock in him.
But look, my hands are bleeding, this little finger is almost gone. Takes all I got to keep swimming this hot coal. I'm only 8 years old. I'm up to Phil's paintball.
Now listen, I've been working since the day I turned 7 years old. I've seen boys like you get mangled in the machines. The chutes eat boys up and spit them out. The smoke in this room doesn't compare to the black inside our bodies. I work 12-hour days, go home, and eat what little mama has left over after all the kids. And then I wake up and do it again. And I ain't complaining, so I need to bite your tongue. I don't want to hear what you have to say. I've had more bruises and cuts than you can count up to.
Ain't it pretty out the sunshine and birds chirping? Wouldn't it be nice to go outside and play some tag or sit under the shade tree?
Did you just hear what I said?
Yes, I did. I just guess that you saw this work.
Well, get used to it, lad. This is your life. You'll be like the rest of us. We work, we hurt, and we eat and sleep enough to do it again the next day. It's a working boy's life.
These boys were just one of the extreme conditions children were forced to endure. Many businesses preferred to hire these child laborers since they were willing to work for lower wages and had hands that were small enough to handle small parts and tools. By 1890, there were 1.5 million children under the age of 15 in the labor force. By 1910, that number had 2 million. Going to school and preparing for their future was a rarely passing thought to these child laborers. They spent their days working, they were underweight, suffered from stunted growth, and many had a curvature of the spine. They developed diseases such as bronchitis and tuberculosis due to the physical and mental stress from such long hours and hard work. One man would soon begin to reveal these harsh conditions. Hine was that man. He knew the children had little to no rights at all. Hine knew his pictures could give children a voice that could not be denied.
There are millions of young children in prison around the world. Something has to be done. These children have rights, and it is my responsibility to help fight for the rights back. I recently set aside my teaching career to take pictures. Pictures can tell a powerful story, and I want to share the story of millions of young children. The National Child Labor Committee has hired me as an investigative photographer. I travel the country snapping pictures of children in all working conditions. If the manager knew my real intentions, I'm not sure what would have happened to me. I want to capture the truth. I've interviewed children scribbling notes on my own hand. For perhaps people could see the abuses and injustices of child labor, somebody would do something about it. Oh, look at the time. I mean, like the local factory owner. Oh, how I despise acting if I care how they made their fortune. I'm so appreciative of me ask a couple of questions about your type of business. I'm very interested in becoming a powerful businessman like yourself.
Oh, no trouble at all. You'd enjoy being me. I guarantee that. All I have to do is walk around here telling children what to do. And if they don't listen, I just drop them. They say, no pain, no gain.
Well, that is a very interesting concept. About how old these workers?
Well, on paper, these kids are 8 to 13 years old. They go on the undergrounds to mine. Now I'll tell you a business secret if you can keep quiet.
Yes, I want to learn from the best.
I have kids as young as 6 years old. Their tiny little hands fit perfectly in tight spots sorts of code. And I can pay them as little as I want. They have to work. They do not want to let their families down.
Wow, that is a big secret and smart if you like money. Do you not care about the conditions these children are working in? They seem kind of ill and weak.
Now, I don't need you asking me personal questions. Business is business. Some kids get hurt, some don't. It's a chance they have to take. We all have families to support.
Right. Well, I'd like to see more of these children workers if you don't mind.
You're digging into your deep here, pal. No need for you to see the workers. I think it's time for you to go. I have a lot of work to do today.
Breaker boys aren't the only child laborers. There are hundreds more in the same horrible conditions, being torn apart by machines, inhaling deadly gases, and dying by the handfuls. Imagine a 5-year-old child picking cotton in the dry summer heat for 10 hours while carrying a 30-pound sack. Oh, let me shine your shoes, mister. This barefoot 5-year-old boy gathers oyster shells from sun up to sundown. This young 13-year-old searches for hours at a time just to open a wooden door inside the dark and lonely mine. These children are underpaid, unappreciated, and sick. They have black lungs, sore feet, aching backs. I'm tired of this sick madness called child labor. It should be called child slavery.
The efforts of the National Child Labor Committee resulted in the establishment of the Children's Bureau Information Clearinghouse. In 1913, the Children's Bureau was transferred to the Department of Labor. By 1916, Congress passed the Keaton-Mullins Act that established many new child labor standards. 14 will be the minimum age for workers in manufacturing, 16 for mining. A maximum of 8-hour work days and even prohibited night work for workers under the age of 16. Also, every worker had to provide proof of age.
This law was later ruled unconstitutional on the ground of congressional power to regulate interstate commerce did not extend. Effective action against child labor would have to await the New Deal. Reformers, however, did succeed at setting legislation at state level by setting maximum hours and banning child labor. By 1920, the number of child laborers was cut to nearly half of what it had been in 1910.
In the summer of 1938, President Franklin Roosevelt signed 121 bills to avoid pocket vetoes. Lying in the midst of those bills was a landmark law in the nation's economic and social development, the Fair Labor Standards Act. This act banned oppressive child labor and set the minimum hourly wage at 25 cents, and 44 hours would be the maximum work week for unemployed.
Louis Hine will never live to see his legacy. Although children had a voice through Hine's impact in pictures, and though it took time and he rewrites and votes, child labor became less harsh. Instead, children had to slave away, risking their lives every day. Louis Hine's picture nothing less than
a flash of justice.